Alright people, haven't made one of these for a while. Decided it's time. Dan, you're a conspiracy nut. Alright, so I found out something this past week that made me very happy. A lady who some of you may know passed. She was living with this guy. I wouldn't call him a friend of mine. I would say a very good acquaintance. Now, there's a difference in that, but anyways. As she was living with me, a lot of things that I had heard and thought about him were confirmed. This guy's a total scumbag. But I learned this past week that he's now a fugitive of the law, wanted for grand theft. I don't mean grand theft as in stealing items per se. Grand theft for stealing money. This guy runs his own, I don't know, his own business. This guy would take deposits on jobs and then not do the job. He would do jobs and do very shoddy work. Like I've heard from a couple people that I'm trying to avoid specifics here, but let's just say that he did shoddy work. He would alright, so guy did window work. Okay, he did window work. And a couple people have confirmed that when you replace windows, obviously when you do a window you have to seal it, caulk it, whatever. If you ran out of caulk, you'd install the window anyways, meaning eventually the window's gonna leak. Anyways, this guy he was always broke, complained about being broke, even though he's ripping people off right and left. Why is he always broke? Because he gambled all his money away. He would borrow money from people and never pay them back until it came around to where there's nobody that would loan him money anymore. Now, to talk about this guy's character or lack thereof, I don't know if it was when he was still, before he got evicted from this place because he couldn't pay his rent. And this place used to contract him to do a lot of their Windows work until they got tired of him and said, no more work for you. oh, now you can't pay your, he was getting a discount, a break on his rent. And then they finally said, nope, you can't work for us anymore. Oh, now you can't pay us? You're evicted. Rugby. Now here's one example of him taking advantage of his own friends. This guy could not pay his cable bill. So for whatever reason, he talked my best friend, who has a heart of gold, into paying his cable bill. So my friend was paying his cable bill for 5 or 6 months. And I found out, I said, dude, stop it. You're never going to get the money back. He's like, yeah, well, you said he would, and we'll see what it. I'm like, dude, no, stop. You're not going to get your money back. So one night, this guy orders a UFC fight. Has like 8 or 10 people over to watch it. Of course, me being one of them. And he takes or asks for donations to help pay for the fight. And now this was before I knew that my friend was paying his bill. So a few people, myself included, chipped in like $10 to pay for the fight. Fight being like 50, 60 bucks. So like a week later, I see my friend and I tell him, I was over at his place watching the fight. It was pretty good. My friend's like, what fight? I go, the UFC fight. He's like, oh, okay. So I'm like, you didn't know about the fight? He's like, no. I'm like, he didn't tell you he was going to rent the fight? My friend's like, what? He rented the fight? I'm like, he didn't tell you? My friend's like, no. Like, he actually took money from people to help pay for the fight. You didn't get that? I was like, no, I don't know anything about that. So this fucking scumbag, who's already taken him for the cable bill, $100+, collected money when he rented a fight on my friend's dollar, and didn't ask permission to rent the fight, and didn't give the money to my friend. This kind of character or lack of that this guy had. Like I said, now he's a fugitive of the law for grand theft, and I love it. I hope he does get caught. He's going to get caught. Actually, here, a lady in this complex, I don't know if it was before or after he got evicted. A lady in this complex, she didn't know his character, recommended him to her mom to do some window work. So he took her mom's deposit, never did the work, never responded to phone calls and whatever for like a year. And he got reported to the police on that one. That's probably why he's a fugitive now. For the deposit was over $1,000, which makes it a felony. And then when they do catch him, of course the authorities are going to look at everything so they can put the most counts on him to get him, convicted. He ripped her off. They could also say Florida law, if you take advantage financially of the elderly, meaning over 65 or 68 or whatever it is, that's a further crime. He has no license for his business, another crime. He's not insured for his business, another crime. Guy hasn't paid taxes in years, another crime. This guy is fucked. I couldn't be happier. God bless my lady friend who's going to get justice on this guy. And I'll leave it with this. Guy that's sleeping on my couch right now used to live with him and my lady. It's a twisted story. I was talking about this guy and telling him how rough his life is now. This guy on my couch. But when he turns 68 or whatever retirement age is going to be at the time, is going to collect on 2 pensions and going to collect on his Social Security. So this idiot asked him, well, how do you get Social Security? You have to work, you have to report on your taxes. So this guy's like, well, when I turn 68, whatever, wouldn't I be automatically eligible? If you're not paying into it, you can't collect from it. Pathetic. This guy knows nothing about Social Security, has been paying into it, hasn't been paying his taxes. This guy, I'll leave it with this. The guy's always broke, even though he's ripping people off right and left. He's always gambling, thinks he's going to hit that one big score. Rugby. If you're not paying into Social Security, you're going to be broke. If when you do retire, you can't retire because you're broke. Karma, in this case, he's going to get what he deserves when he gets caught. Again, grand theft, unlicensed business, uninsured business. You can get the federal government involved, non-payment of taxes. After years of abuse, you're going to be up there laughing at this guy. I love it, people. I don't like to be spiteful. Trying to finish this under 15 minutes. I don't think I'm going to do it.